On this latest edition of DWZ Discussions, as you know, the pro wrestling world was in shock, surprised, with the announcement of Rossy Ogawa being fired from Stardom. What started this all? Well, from the initial reports, they were saying that Rossy Ogawa was poaching certain wrestlers and staff members, but the real question is for whom or why? However, some of that for whom, for why, or what has been uncovered. It turns out that, like we always hear, there's always two sides in the same coin of the story of what really was going on. And also the main reasons why Bushiroad made their decision to terminate Rossy Ogawa. And of course, we will be discussing about what else is going to take place after this. And of course, the recent discussions about the possibility of a mass exodus in Stardom. So, let's begin with this latest edition of DWZ Discussions. Welcome, everybody, to DWZ Discussions, where we talk about various topics in the world of pro wrestling, such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. I am your host, J Rod here. So if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. This is where we do a lot of pro wrestling content. We do, of course, reviews on various promotions such as AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, and various other promotions around the world. We also do news updates to keep you guys updated what's going on with in the world of pro wrestling, such as the promotions and other developments involving in pro wrestling as well. And we also do more things on this channel as well, such as the Unagi Sayaka Watch, um, special episodes, and various other cool things as well. So if you guys like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and videos like this one with discussions and various other things. But if you like this video, please give us a like on a like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, let's begin with our various topic of today. As you know, February 4th, right after Stardom had their much recent pay-per-view, Supreme Fight, it was announced that Rossy Ogawa, his contract with Stardom has been terminated. Now, what was the initial thing that's been going on? Why was he let go? Now, of course, there were rumors, speculations, going tossed around. From what we confirmed that it was 100%, but not entirely accurate from the actual story, is that Rossy Ogawa was attempting to poach certain wrestlers and staff from Stardom. But the real question is for whom? People were speculating, oh, it's for WWE and all this other stuff. There was led to believe what really was going on. Of course, Dave Meltzer had to dig into more of this, getting contacts with people that he knows to find out what the actual story is. Now, what exactly has been going on? Why all of a sudden Rossy Ogawa? Now, certain people do believe that there's more to this story meets the eye. Now, like the old saying goes, there's always two sides in every story. So basically, let's hear what Rossy Ogawa's side was about. Now, this began 9 months ago. Rossy Ogawa, from what he said, he was approached by certain wrestlers saying to him that he's been unhappy. They've been unhappy with the direction of Bushiroad. Now, many people recently talked about this. That Rossy Ogawa, on the other hand, made a mistake selling the company to Bushiroad. Maybe so, but there's a reason why he took the deal to sell the company to Bushiroad. Now let's go back to a few years ago. Rossy Ogawa was given an opportunity to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Rossy Ogawa took the deal in exchange that he would hand over Stardom to WWE. But what Rossy Ogawa didn't realize is that WWE had no intentions to leave Stardom intact. But when Rossy Ogawa found out about the deal, he decided to break away from it, end the deal, not accept it. Now, he didn't do it out of selfishness, he did it out of concern for the well being of his wrestlers because he was concerned that they could lose their jobs. And it's true. Why would WWE try to dismantle Stardom? Simple. It's the same thing that many fans, especially WWE fan base, want. NXT Japan. That was the main reason. That's the same reason why Rossy Ogawa is doing what he's doing now. Now, it's not the same situation, but, however, Rossy was not just going to sit by and let this happen. So the idea of what he wanted is to take only the champions themselves and the top talent. That was his point. That's what he wanted to do. His initial thing, what he wanted to do, is to do a brand new promotion. Yes, you heard me right. He wants to do a brand new promotion. He said he wants to do things that he couldn't do in Stardom. Now, keep in mind, Rossy Ogawa was the executive producer. He had somewhat of an executive power in the company. But for whatever reason, he was losing all that power. So it felt like he wants to do this. Now, Rossy Ogawa is no stranger to starting promotions. He was involved with All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, which is well recognized Yoshi promotion back in the day, and then he was involved with another one. But he started Stardom with Fuka and Nanane Takahashi at the time. So that's how the whole thing began with Stardom. So the initial assumption now is he wants to take these wrestlers with him because he wants to start anew, that he was unable to do this. Now, Bushiroad's side is that they thought that he was poaching them. Like, how do I say this? Um, that he approached them. That was the initial thing. Now, this is what President Taru Okada had to say about that situation. Let's see. Let me pull it up. I know I saved it. This is what he said, and this was during an interview with Tokyo Sports. Heard about Rossy trying to poach people in December. Told him to stop. Rossy expresses his intentions to resign for some time. At the Takada no Baba show on January 21st, it is explained to the players and staff that Rossy Ogawa would leave in March. However, Ogawa continued to try poaching, so the company made a decision to fire him. Many wrestlers Ogawa tried to poach are champions and popular wrestlers. Okada will take over Rossy's role as executive producer and booker. So it appears that Bushiroad has been aware what Rossy Ogawa was doing. Now, keep in mind, Rossy said they approached him. That they approached him. He didn't approach them. So in a way, it's like there's how do I say, a different stand, like what they believe. Now, let's see how it is. Some people like to think what they saw is exactly what they saw. But in reality, the person who's involved will tell you exactly what really happened, even if people don't see it. That's always been one of those things. So Rossy is saying, I didn't poach them. They came to me, so I was talking to them about it. So that was the whole point of what this whole thing was about. Rossy Ogawa was intending, but however, Bushiroad was fully aware that he wanted to start a promotion. However, they accepted the idea. They were willing to say they want to do a rivalry between them, but Rossy has no intentions of doing that. He feels like, I don't want to have a mud fight with you guys. So he has no intentions of what he's going to do. Now, Rossy Ogawa's primary concern has always been the same: the well being of his wrestlers. Now, say what you want about Rossy. To me, when I heard what he did when he backed down of the deal from WWE because he was concerned for the well being of his wrestlers, it made me realize people have thought to talk about, oh, he doesn't give a shit about his wrestlers, but he does. He doesn't want them to lose their jobs. I mean, it's more like I gave them this opportunity and I don't want them to lose what I've given them. That's always been who Rossy was. And now that this thing with Bushiroad, things have not been going well for them. So the obvious question does tell what's going to happen now. We have been hearing that there are some wrestlers that their contracts will be up by the end of March. Now, they haven't disclosed who will be those wrestlers. However, there has been talk about a mass exodus in Stardom. Now, when you think about a mass exodus, to me, this makes me remind of the exodus that happened with All Japan Pro Wrestling involving Matsuharu Misawa. Now, those who may or may not know the story, let me explain that one. In 1999, All Japan Pro Wrestling suffered a fatal blow when their founder, Giant Baba, passed away. Now, the business was left in the capable hands of Makoto Baba, Giant Baba's widow, and of course Masawa. However, after his passing, Makoto Baba decided that she wanted to change the direction of All Japan Pro Wrestling. Misawa felt like disheartening because he did not like the idea of what Makoto Baba was doing. So basically, he tried to tell her that this is not the right place or direction to go. However, Makoto Baba tried to persuade him to accept the idea, but he refuses. This led to him being excluded out of meetings, business meetings, the whole thing. But Misawa knew that the writing was on the wall for him. He knew that sooner or later he had to leave. But when word got out that he was planning to leave, 24 out of 26 Japanese wrestlers left with Misawa. 24 out of 26 foreign wrestlers left with Misawa. So did people inside the office, so did the TV networks. So we could see a similar situation with Stardom. So it's still unclear. Now, we do know Mayu Iwatani has signed a long-term contract with Stardom, so basically she won't be able to leave. But the real question is who will be staying, who will be leaving? That is a good question. We don't know. But however, some people are calling this situation, this could be the start of the downfall for Stardom. Now, there are those that don't believe that happened because we have seen promotions that struggled to maintain their status financially. Some struggled to try to get recognition, that sort of thing. Stardom, I could say they could try to hold on as much as possible. Some people say, will they be hiring new wrestlers like freelancers or something? That's something we don't know. That is still the obvious question that we just don't know about that part. Now, there is one question that I did saw this from someone who tweeted this on their X account. This is something that caught my attention. How did Rossy Ogawa is going to pay for his wrestlers if this new promotion starts? So it's true. How are you going to pay for everything with the wrestling promotion? All of that, the financial needs. Now, people can say money is not important, but it is important too for things like that. That's one of the things that we don't know. I asked myself, if this happened 9 months ago, did Rossy Ogawa already had a plan planned out? That's something I'm still trying to understand if there is. I haven't heard anything about that even from Dave Meltzer or anybody from Fightful Select, but I hope if he does, then at least he's doing something right. So there's a lot of questions involving this. However, a much recent one just came out. Um, Julia, as you know, she's already WWE bound, but however, she's going to stay a while in Japan to help Rossy Ogawa to set up the new promotion. Now, you ask yourself, why? Well, Julia had this to say on her thoughts. The thing that Rossy Ogawa has built is being destroyed. Up until last year and the year before, We had a lot of momentum, didn't we? It was extremely frustrating to see the things we had to build together were falling apart more and more. So Julia was fully aware of what's been going on with Stardom. So she felt that what's been going on in the last couple of years, it seems like yes, they build up the momentum, but at what cost? I think that's the real question. So Julia will have to postpone her debut with WWE. I know that some of you were saying, "Oh, come on." She just forget about Rossy. Guys, she owed everything to Rossy. That was the whole point. Do you want to turn your back on the person that brought you to this? Hmm? If it was me in their position, I wouldn't betray Rossy because if he was the one who gave me the opportunity, I stay with him. It's not loyalty of the man, it's more like you appreciate what he has given you. That's what's all about. Now, people even talked about Kyrie, that Kyrie had something that she knew that this was going to happen. Yes. According to what people are saying, Kyrie knew months ago that this was going to happen because that's why she returned. That Stardom is not in a good state at the moment, even if we don't pay attention to it. So that's pretty much it. However, there's one question that another thing has been brought upon. Now, keep in mind, we have been able to see Stardom whenever we want, but now that this new promotion is going to happen, how we're going to see our favorite wrestlers, you know, who are going to be leaving Stardom. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Now, for those who know this with me, I started the Unagi Sayaka to keep you guys updated what she's been doing since then. You know, I did it voluntarily. No one didn't have to tell me to do it. I'm a fan of Unagi, but I did it because I felt I have any subscribers out there to keep in touch what Unagi's been doing since then, that's why I did it. I did it because I wanted to. Now, if I'm able to do the same thing with the ladies from Stardom, with these ladies leaving Stardom, I would. But the real question is how we're going to see the matches, how we're going to see everything, to watch our favorite wrestlers. I mean, I said this before. Does Rossy has a plan? That's the thing I want to know. Does Rossy has a plan how this is going to do? I don't know. But another question also risen about this. If Stardom is going to lose its momentum after this mass accident, that this will lead to a state of power flux. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, here's the thing. Before Stardom became what they were mostly an independent promotion. They had no company like Bushiroad to back them up. But until then, they were the first promotion to jump in as a major promotion in the Yoshi wrestling world. That was the whole thing. Right now, number two, it's Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling. So they stepped in because of Cyberfight. However, now that it's a possibility that Tokyo Yoshi Pro Wrestling will reach for the top. But what about the other promotions such as Marvelous, Sendai Girls, Seedling, uh, who else? Oz Academy. I mean, those promotions are independent. But we know recently, if you guys know this, Shuji Ishikawa, formerly from All Japan Pro Wrestling, has now been given the position as general manager for the Yoshi promotion Evolution Girls. Evolution Girls. And he said that he has declared war against Stardom. So he did say that he wants to surpass them. So we could see that taking place, but I would say it would take a long time until we get to that point. But the real question is, if Stardom is going to go down the drain, who's going to step up being at the top of the mountain of the Yoshi wrestling world in Japan? That's an obvious question. I mean, we could say that maybe Stardom could suffered greatly. Like they're trying to maintain their momentum and status as much as possible until they find a suitable replacement for Rossy's position and all that. That's something we could expect. Now, we will continue to follow this more closely, what's going on, but we will have to see what happens at March. We will see if there is going to be a mass exodus, then we'll see where it goes from there. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I know that there's a lot of questions involving, of course, with the situation with Rossy, Stardom, the potential of the new promotion, all of that. So I think that's pretty much it for all of that. So I will see you guys on the next episode. So I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye. Mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.